My YouTube, start the recording. Just a second. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, let's get started. More Skyrim! Continue! Okay, last time we went deep south. We read some books, we slain a dragon, and we killed some vampires. And now we are on our way to Fort Nugrad. Right. Yeet. Oh, give me that. Oh. What's this place?
Huh?
Excuse you?
What was that?
Staff of Courage. Whoa! So there's a trap on the door.
Is someone there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who is attacking? Spiders. Giant. Oh. Well. Well.
Someone there?
Where's my H-Knock? Where's my flame H-Knock? Can you please come here? Will you? What are you doing? Oh? Follow me, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. No! I'm gonna die! Oh my god. That venom was way too strong.
Please cut me down. Thanks for getting me out of that. Bashnag's coven chased me out and left me for dead down here. Nobody lasts too long with the spiders. Please, will you help me get out of here? If the coast is clear, I'll make a break for it. Bashnag's circle of mages. Well, they live
Really
here.
well?
They made it pretty clear that I'm no longer welcome.
You're a necromancer?
I am, and I don't want to hear your moral judgments about it either. I wouldn't have had to study in secret in the old days.
Okay, okay.
I won't be myself for some time. I just need to get out of here and recover. These are no dainty college mages. Bashnag has the skill of a magister and the mind of a warlord.
Uh-oh.
This is a dangerous bunch. They're good company. If you want to study necromancy in peace, though. My daughter was sent to the orphanage there when I stood accused of illegal necromancy. I had no choice. Run or die. I joined with Bashnag then, but I thought of Savella every day, so I snuck off hoping to find and steal away with her. Only she was gone. Shipped away to another orphanage or adopted, or... I didn't know what else to do, so I came back, hoping nobody noticed I left. I'm too weak right now. Between the spiders and the coven, I'd be dead before escaping the cave. Bashnag cursed me. I can't cast a spell to save my... Thank you. When I find my daughter, it will be... I'm too weak right now. Between the spiders and the coven, I'd be dead before escaping the cave.
Egg.
You're not planning on burning anything with that, are you? Is someone there?
Stuff of sparks? You? I'm carrying too much. I'm too heavy. And I'm far from leveling up. Great. Oh! Oh! Well, good night. Okay, but there was another way, right? Also, should I let her go? I'm not convinced. Oh yeah, and before I do anything else... Let's do this. Pin. And then... Why can't I pin? There you go. Boom. Alrighty. What's next? I want to backtrack a bit. Wrong way. Okay, there's nothing in here. What the hell is this place? This place is huge. Dwarven greatsword. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Steel war axe, I don't need you. Hey Kyle, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Sweet conjuration setup. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with conjuration right now. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, what is that? I don't need this. Maybe. I mean, these don't really weigh anything. That's kind of crazy, though. That this is worth 1,000. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. What miscellaneous stuff do I have? I have a lot. Jesus Christ. Okay. Just trying to get rid of my materials as much as I can. What did I throw? I need this. Apparel. Okay, I'm a bit better now with weight. Chicken breast. Okay, let's see if I can meet her quickly. Quick save. I'm gonna come back and clear this place, but just wanna see if I can talk with her. Or maybe I can meet her later on. Yeah, she's gone. Well, in we go. This is south of Falkreath. Correct. Well, no, this is east of Falkreath, southeast. I'm currently, what I did, I'm very in the start of the game. I barely progressed with the story. In the main story currently, I need to go to High Hrothgar. But I wanted to do some side stuff. So my main goal right now is to do the Retrieve Nettlebane quest. But I decided to venture south. I found this dragon, then I found Angie's scam, then the Bloodlet throne, and I just kept going. You know how it is. You just cannot stop exploring once you get into it. Okay, let's do a juiced up Flame Atronach. Let's do right hand this. Left hand. I could use a zombie. Where's the body? That whole area to me always registered as South Falkreath. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I've never been to Falkreath yet. Oh, the only city I've been to was Whiterun so far. Anybody home? Don't mind me. Hiya. I'm way too good at sneaking. Is this gonna be another trap? No.
Time to end this.
I don't notice what about raising zombie cancel the threat. Oh right, that makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah, because yeah, they are summons. Yeah, there is no. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay.
Never should have come here. It's nothing. That's all you got.
Oh my god! I was so close to killing him. Also, I'm very weak. But that's fine. I barely put points into HP. I didn't save. I guess I didn't. Okay. Actually, let's do the setup first. What race are you playing? I am a Dark Elf. I am a dark elf. Uh-oh. Leave me alone, don't keep me. You're dead. Hey, buddy. The art of war magic. Oh, there's a lot of cool stuff on him. Oh no, I'm too heavy again. Uh-oh. Oh. Never mind. Oh yeah, I've been here. Okay, so we made a full circle. That's cool. Alright, well this place is cleared. Let's get out of here. I might need to make my way to Falkreed actually, because I need to sell stuff. And I think Falkreed is my fastest option. Also, I'm not fast traveling in the game, which is a bit silly, but I don't know, I just want to be immersed, you know. I don't want to be just being lazy and teleporting around. And I don't call others lazy. That's not what I mean. I just call myself lazy for doing it. You're playing a Conjuration Pyromancer, so I don't have a build. I just use skills currently that I enjoy, I found and find cool. This is how my skills look. Conjuration is mainly lock picking a lot, sneaking a lot, you know. I don't know, I don't really have, I guess, a build right now. Because it's my first playthrough, you know, I don't really know what the game has to offer just yet. So I didn't really want to commit to anything. Alright, where are we going? Let's go back to Riverwood. That might be fast. In Riverwood I can sell some stuff, I think. And maybe I can catch a carriage as well. From nearby. Then we can make our way back. Because that 30 carrying way doesn't gonna help. It's not gonna help me for too much. I'll need much more. Much more. Going back to Helgen gave me creeps in the first playthrough. Pastel! What are you doing? Thank you so much for 5 months. You little gremlin. I appreciate you so much. Hope work is going well for you. Oh my god, Pastel, are you here for like a few minutes? With audio. I need to show you something. And I guess, like, I started the stream with this, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. One of my most anticipated games put out an update. And I'm just so happy. Emberville. It's made by an incredible developer team and being directed by, I think he's the director of it, or producer maybe. I might be mixing up the roles by my streamer inspiration streamer hero Co-Carnage. Are you ready? This is the reveal of their full voice acting crew. You're not ready. You're not ready. Tell me when I can start.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
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 Hi.
My name's David Menken.
Jennifer English.
Abubakar Saleh.
Nick Apostolidis. Ben Starr.
Amelia Tyler. Jane Perry.
Matthew Mercer.
Alex Ponton.
Elias Tufexis.
Michael Bryan.
Kirsty Ryder.
Lucy Elliott.
Kayla Thorman.
Alex Jordan.
Anjali Bhamani.
Dylan Francis.
Brianna White.
Doug Cockle.
Rich Cable.
Lily Pichu.
And I'm delighted
To
to
be joining
be in the cast of Emberville.
Hey, I'm Ben Starr. Hey, I'm Ben Starr. Hey, I'm Ben Starr. Hello, I'm Ben Starr. And I'm delighted to join the cast of Emberville. Or is the cast of Emberville delighted to join me? It's probably the first way around.
Game of the year. This is my game of the year. I don't think it's set in stone. Nothing's gonna change this. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Holy crap. Like, I was speaking about this earlier. This video made me, gave me the level of happiness that only One Piece could. Which is, from me, an incredible praise. So huge congrats to Co-Carnage and everyone else working on this. And just to tell you a bit, have you played Assassin's Creed 2 specifically, Pastel? I'm gonna continue in the meanwhile. You might not know who this guy is. I'm bringing it back. You might not know who this guy is.
Hi.
Hey.
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 Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
First of all, this guy, let's start with some of his modern appearances. Remy in The Hell Is Us. Adam Jensen in Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Mankind Divided. Just to name a few. And he was the voice of Ezio's brother in Assassin's Creed 2.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Also,
Hi.
Hey.
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 Hey. Hey.
you know who that is. You know who that is.
Hey.
Hey.
And this guy is I need to play more from him. My most memorable character from him is Basim in Basim? I think that's his name, right? No, I'm stupid. It's Bayek. in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Hey.
Amelia Tyler needs no introduction to anyone. The narrator of Baldur's Gate 3. Who tells you off for kicking that squirrel? I know you did. I know you did kick it. I would have kicked it too if I played the game.
Hey.
Yeah, she's in almost all of the big JRPGs. Not JRPGs, CRPGs. Jane Perry. Come on, Jane Perry.
Hey.
Hey.
Alex Jordan.
Hey.
Hi.
Geralt, the man himself. Oh.
Hey.
We got Monaco.
Hey.
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 No, I don't want to say anything stupid. Okay. I had to double check it. This is Aerith. This is Aerith. From Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Hey.
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 Hi.
My name's David Menken.
Jennifer English.
Abubakar Saleh.
Nick Apostolidis.
Ben Starr.
Amelia Tyler. Jane Perry.
Matthew Mercer.
Alex Ponton.
Elias Tufexis.
Michael Bryan.
Kirsty Ryder.
Lucy Elliott.
Kayla Thorman.
Alex Jordan.
Anjali Bhamani.
Dylan Francis.
Brianna White.
Doug Cockle.
Rich Cable.
Lily Pichu?
And I'm delighted
To
to
be
be
joining
in the cast of Emberville.
I'm so happy! I'm so sorry. Okay. Back to Skyrim. I'm so happy!
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Winter.
Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, Falkreath Stormcloak.
We're running out of bread. I hope the supplies get here soon.
Meow.
Legion soldiers gleam like fresh fallen snow and clank like...
I'm making my way down. Okay, back to work I go. I hope you have a wonderful stream. I'll try publishing more when I can. I appreciate you so much. Oh crap. I went the wrong way. No! God damn it. No. That scared me. That scared me a lot. The Skyrim climb, do do do, the Skyrim climb, pee pee. Whoa, this is the fort. Fort Nugrad. I don't want to go to Falkreath just yet. That's the thing. I just don't, because I'm gonna get lost. Ads are starting in 3.5 minutes over on Twitch. Oh. Thank you so much, Pastel, again. I really appreciate you. I'm dead. An assassin? Huh. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna prepare. He was strong. He was really strong. Do do do. Ads are starting in a minute. Before they start, I'm gonna beat this guy up. Dark Brotherhood Assassin note. Whoa. Wait, what was that sword that I picked up? That was just an iron sword. As instructed, you are to eliminate bandy by any means necessary. The Black Sacrament has been performed. Somebody wants this poor fool dead. You already received payment for the contract. Failure is not an option. Astrid. The Black Brotherhood. Oh, wait. Dark Brotherhood. Black. The Black Sacrament was... I can speak. I promise. I promise I can speak. Maybe I should buy a horse. Is there a stable here? A horse would help a lot.
You're asking for the finest weapons and armor.
Okay, that's actually not that bad. Doesn't have a lot of gold though. Okay.
Aye.
That's not bad, but we need to get rid of more. We need to go home and stash all of our dragon bones. Oh, give me a sec.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't... Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Letter? Give me a sec. Sorry. What did we receive? Bounty? No. Contract? No. This is not the one. That one from a friend. You caused a bit of stir in Greywater Grotto when you demonstrated the power of your Tuhun. Not everyone is anxious for the return of the Dragonborn. I for one desire to see you grow and develop your talents. Skyrim needs a true hero nowadays. You should turn your attention to Silver Drift Lair. I understand it holds a mysterious source of power that can only be unlocked by the Dragonborn. Sincerely, a friend. What the hell? Wrong way. This way. The Whiterun. What the hell? Mm-hmm.
This doesn't concern you. Move along. It's immoral. Perhaps there's something you wish to confess? Incorrect. And you're dead.
Idiot. No! I don't like the Talmor. So all of them needs to die. I mean, the ones I provoke. Boom! I don't need the iron sword. I need to remind myself to save. Otherwise, I'm gonna have so many problems. And I'm back to Whiterun. Sell all my stuff. Or at least what I can. Actually, no, I'm not gonna go back to Whiterun. No, I am going Whiterun, not I'm not selling stuff here Riverwood, is what I'm. Wow! Womp. Womp womp. I gotta think about when, but I definitely need to go to the College of Winterhold. I need to learn more about magic. Also, I should probably buy...
I've been looking for you. A letter. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Let's read this quickly. The Dark Brotherhood, Sheshin note. Which is fine. I was expecting something like this to happen, I guess. I heard of the Dark Brotherhood faintly from friends. Oh. My potion ran out. But that's all. Like, I don't know. All I know is that they are assassins. My current assumption, there is no need to deny or confirm it, please, is that it's because I was killing some people. Paco! Hi Paco, how you doing, my friend? Happy Thursday to you. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're having fun with Skyrim. I am having the most amount of, like, the best time with Skyrim. What the hell is happening in here?
Come with us right now. I don't know who you think I am, and I don't care. Leave me alone.
I don't have time for this foolishness. Now come along quietly, and we won't have to get...
That spell looks dangerous.
Bruh, that spell looks dangerous. We're looking for information about a woman. We believe she may be hiding in Whiterun. We believe she may be hiding in Whiterun. But we're checking everywhere to
I'm
be
not
sure.
going anywhere. Now
Good
back
day.
off before I do something drastic.
She doesn't have the scar. What? Oh, you're right. We've made a mistake. Now move along before that mouth of yours gets you into trouble.
What the hell?
Next time you're looking to pester someone, make sure it's the right person.
Wow. Where's the Talmor? I wanna beat them up. I'm sure I'll find more of them. But I wanna beat them up. Wiccan elves. Stables. This way. I need a horse. I also need to buy the... What I wanted to say is I need to get the alchemy station for my house. Alright, how much is a horse?
Man like you needs... Suppose so. You've got a deal. It's the one with the saddle. Right strong.
I got a horse.
You've been seen in the company of the companions. That's an honorable path you're on, friend.
Thank you. That's an honorable paw. Let's go home. Bitches, this is my home. No, that is my home, right? This? No, this is my home. Yeah. Where's my chest? Where is me chest? Okay. Weapons. Store. Okay. The miscellaneous stuff though. No, not the lockpicks. Not the lockpicks again. Meridia's beacon stays. Unusual gem stays. Okay, we are pretty light. Let's go. Oh yeah, I need to return to Farkus. Yeah, let's do that now. And also let's look into how much the alchemy station costs. I assume the housing guy is up in here.
Stormcloaks, Imperials, dragons.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Yo.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discover spells and incantations for those with the talent to guess them.
Ooh, muffle. Ooh. Muffle is kind of huge.
You know, if you've got the aptitude. You should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
Where's that guy? He's not here. There, he's here.
Divines bless you. May the ground you walk... The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a
Great.
look at this decree for details.
What can I buy? So let me try and find it.
What is it, elf?
What is it that you need? Now, if you don't mind... I've
We
got
can never rest easy, for Balgraf's enemies will not.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Whoa. That's a cool statue. Let's go back to Farkas.
In each of us, the future of Skyrim, the future of...
Some people don't think I'm kind of fun to push people around sometimes, isn't it? Good work, brother.
Yo.
Skjor was looking for you earlier. Don't know. He just said he needed to talk to you before you do anything else. I don't like making him angry, but there is some work for you if you want it.
All these younglings scampering around.
Worried one of them is going to take your place?
Some of the... There you are.
I did. Your time, it seems, has come. Last week, a scholar came to us. Said he knew where we could find another fragment of Ulthrat. He seemed a fool to me, but if he's right, the honor of the Companions demand that we seek it out. This is a simple errand, but the time is right for it to be your trial. Carry yourself with honor, and you'll become a true companion.
Okay.
Farkas will be your shield sibling on this venture. He'll answer any questions you have. Try not to disappoint, or to get him killed.
Whoopsie. Okay. I don't have time for that. No. I need to go take care of other stuff. Sorry, Farkas. That can wait. I need to find my holes. And then head back down south. Yeah, that's where I need to go. Or see. Nice little ride. Oh, Lydia is sprinting. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Who are you?
Wherever the Daedra hide, the Vigil of Stendar will cast them into the...
You speak to a vigilant of Stendar. He is the god of mercy, the patron of order and justice for all of Tamriel. We bring his compassion where none can be found, by cleansing all those who would offend his children.
Mm-hmm.
And any other abominations that prey on mortals. Vampires, werewolves, witches. But Daedra are the worst. Their callous disregard for our lives is abhorrent in the eyes of the god of mercy.
Are you two twins?
Yes. Our order was founded after the Oblivion Crisis. We dedicate our lives to facing the threat of Daedra wherever they appear. We're quartered in the Hall of the Vigilant. Keeper Carset heads Skyrim's branch of our order there, providing healing and justice as needed. None escape the vigil. The mercy of Stendar does not extend to Daedra worshippers.
Yeah. Map updated. Rorikstead. We have so much to do. Oh my god. Music. So nice.
Stupid dog.
Alright, we are getting close. We're gonna go to Fort Newgrad first. That is our first stop before retrieving Nettlebane. Having a horse is so nice. Orphan Rock. Save before I forget and die from something. All right. Okay. Level up! I think stamina is the best for now. Alright, let's see. See ya. Anyone up here? Oh, a bandit. Hey. Oh. Ooh, hello there. I wanna get up there. I don't think I can just yet. Ooh. Let's enter the fort. Sorry, lady. So sorry, didn't mean to hit you.
Let's see what you've got.
Somebody saw us.
What was that?
Oh. There's someone up there. Oh, I need to start favoriting more spells. See ya.
Tell you what.
Oh! What the hell? He was strong as hell. Jesus Christ. Holy. The real brands, yeah. Bonk. Anybody else? I shouldn't have done that. Okay, Song of Pelennor. I don't have the 5th. Legend of the Red Eagle. Gimme. Find the Red Eagle sword. Whoa, what? Mystery of Talara. I have the volume 1 of that. I'm just gonna pick up all of these. You can never know. Why? I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I have that. The Wolf Queen. No, I'm just gonna take it.
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Okay.
You can't hide from me.
Calm down. Wait. Ooh. Another stone under one of those expensive stones.
Where are you? Can't wait to count out your coin.
Dwarven sword. Hey.
There you are.
Bonk. Empty. Oh, book? No. Book. I like books. I like gold. We can take these. That's fine. Oh. Easy. Dwarven bow. Oh. For new red treasure. Where the hell did you come from? All right. Let's continue exploring. Whoopsie.
Someone there? Nothing. God, no.
He's strong. He's actually really strong. He's really strong.
You'll be so much easier to rob when you're dead.
Uh-oh. Wait, this might have been good. Come on, H-Rock. Come on. Yeah. Good job. Ooh. Map updated, you say? That's the one we needed! The volume. Oh my god. Should we start reading? Okay, are we free? I'm just gonna take every book and then I can sort out the duplicates. Oh. Veg, cheese, veg. Okay, let's go back up here through the ladder outside and then drop down. Because there might be stuff around here. But just might be. There might be not. And there is not. Where are you? Okay, buddy, you're strong. Yep. Uh-huh. Yaha. He do be strong. He do be doob. Oh. Firebolt?
Where are you?
Come on. Show yourself. I'm gonna die in the next hit. I didn't mean to use that. Get absolutely wrecked, my dude. Okay. So. What is this map? How did the treasure map look? So here. Just to be safe. Aha! I'll take it. Thanks for the treasure. Okay, there is another cave nearby. So is there something underwater here? Oh! Whoa! Wait, there's a prison?
Huh?
Oh my god. Guess we found the back door. More books, yes.
get some beer every now and then. Is someone there? Where are you?
You're so dead. What? Whoa. 4 gold. Give it to me. Give that as well. Okay, where now? This way? Yeah. Actually. I'm gonna take all the potatoes. Ooh. Ads are starting in 5 minutes on Twitch. Oh. Sneaky little chest. Hell yeah, 52 gold. Love to see it. Alright, I think that's all the sacks. Let's get going. Ugh. Win book. Ooh. Grilled leeks. Okay, I can go out this way or this way. All right. I'm gonna start making my way towards Orphan Rock. Then take a small break as the ads start. I'm gonna grab some water. My horse. Hey, buddy. What's this? Is it a bear? Horses. Oh, Stormcloak camp. Cool. There is a key. Well, you know what it means. If there is a cave,
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts
that
for years.
means I gotta explore. Whoa, the skybox. Where the hell am I? Whoa. Gamer's shame. Alright. Quick save. Ads are about to start. I'm gonna take a small break and then I'll see you all once the ads are over. Get up, stretch, hydrate. Welcome back everyone from the ad break. Thank you for bearing with it. I almost poked my eyes out. Okay. There's a horse. Hey horsey. Why is there a horse? We are not going this way though. Yet. See ya. Oh, sweet roll. A lot of gold. I'm okay. Thank God for all the food I picked up, right?
Hello? Who's there?
Lydia, don't let me die! God damn it. Oh, cheers. I brought a cold one. Oh, he's so dead. That's right. That's right. You mess with me. I'm not stepping in it again. Am I leveling my sneak with this? Not really. How is my conjuration? 49? Oh my god. No mercy. Bleh. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Sorry, that was my my dishwasher. It's just really loud when it opens after it's done. Let me take this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and all of this. A quick save.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
What was that? I could end this with decay.
What? Holy! I got my... Wow. I didn't know that can happen. Also, I got the perk point. Oh yeah.
A bad feeling about this. Let's finish this.
One left.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you if I have
Thank you.
Now, this is what I see. I'll kill you where you stand.
My flame matronach is so strong. Boom. Yippee! Car? What is? Okay. way down there. What's here? Oh, just a stash. Yeah. Ooh, elven arrow. Don't mind me. After this cave, we're gonna read a few books. That is the plan. Oops. Oh. Oh. Egg. Ooh. Do I have something to disenchant? I do. Oh, but I'm wearing that. I'm wearing that too. Crap. Thank you. Lydia, you're in the way. Dead. How did I escape? How did I do that? Oh my god. Hold on. Yes. Thank you. Go team! Go team! H-Nox are so strong. Okay. We did it. We fucking did it. Hell yeah. Whoa. What the hell happened here? Leg of a goat. So much food. Okay. Wolf, queen. Before. Yeah. Gold. Alright. This dungeon is cleared. Yow. All right. How about where am I? In my horse. Horsey. There's the horsey. Hello. Okay, we did a really good job so far clearing this area. Holy! Ancestor's Glade is still something I need to clear, but the Spriggans there are really strong. And I currently don't have what it takes to beat them. So because of that, I'm not gonna try just yet. But I will. Eventually. Now, since we are in here in a camp,
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
Alright, time to read. Let's finish the real Branzia. Volume 3. For several days, Brenzia felt a weight of sorrow at her separation from her friends, but by the second week... Oh wait, no, we read the... This is the one where she was forced to abortion. So we need V4. Right. Everything I have ever loved I have lost, Brenzia thought despondently, looking at the mountain nights behind and ahead, her tired woman near her in a carriage. Yet I have gained a measure of wealth and power, and the promise of more to come. Dearly have I bought it. Now I do understand better Tiber Septim's love of it, if he has often paid such prices, for surely worth is measured by the price we pay. By her wish she rode on a shiny roan mare, clad as a warrior in resplendent chainmail of dark elven make. As the days slowly slipped by and her train rode the winding road eastward into the setting sun, around her gradually rose the steep-sided mountain slopes of Morrowind. The air was thin, and the chill late autumn wind blew constantly, but it was also rich with the sweetest spicy smell of the late-blooming black rose, which was native to Morrowind and grew in every shadowy nook and crevice of its highlands, finding nourishment even in the stoniest banks and ridges. In small villages and towns, ragged dark elven folk gathered along the road to cry her name simply Gape. Most of her nightly escort were red guards, with a few high elves, Nords and Bretons. As they wove their way into the heart of Morrowind, they grew increasingly uncomfortable and clung together in protective clusters. Even the elven knights seemed wary, but Brenzia felt at home at last. She felt the welcome extended to her by the land, her land. Semachus met her at the Mournhold border with an escort of knights, about half of whom were dark elven. In imperial battle dress, she noted. There was a grand parade of entry into the city and speeches of welcome from stately dignitaries. "I've had the Queen's suite refurbished for you," the general told her later when they reached the palace, "but you may change anything not to your taste, of course." He went on about the details of the coronation, which was to be held in a week. He was his old commanding self, but she sensed something else as well. He was eager for her approval of the arrangements, was in fact fishing for it. That was new. He had never required her commendation before. He asked her nothing about her stay in the Imperial City or of her affair with Tiber Septim, although Brenzia was certain Drellane had told him or earlier written him everything in detail. The ceremony itself, like so much else, was a mixture of old and new. Parts of it were from ancient Dark Elven tradition of Mournhold, the others dictated by imperial decree. She was sworn to the service of the Empire and Tiber Septim, as well as to the land of Mournhold and its people. She accepted oaths of fealty and allegiance from the people, the nobility, and the council. This last was composed of a blend of imperial emissaries, advisors they were called, and native representatives of Mournhold people who were mostly elders in accordance with elven custom. Brenzia later found that much of her time was occupied in attempting to reconcile these two factions and their cronies. The elders were expected to do most of the conciliating in light of reforms introduced by the Empire pertaining to land ownership and surface farming, but most of these went clean against Dark Elven observances. Tiber Septim, in the name of the One, had ordained a new tradition, and apparently even the gods and goddesses themselves were expected to obey. The new queen threw herself into her work and her studies. She was through with love and men for a long time, if not forever. There were other pleasures she discovered, as Semachus had promised her long ago, those of the mind and those of power. She developed surprisingly, for She had always rebelled against her tutors at the Imperial City, a deep love for dark elven history and mythology, a hunger to know more fully the people from whom she had sprung. She was gratified to learn that they had been proud warriors and skilled craftsmen and cunning mages since time immemorial. Tiber Septim lived for another half-century, during which she saw him on several occasions as she was bidden to the Imperial City on one reason of state or another. He greeted her with warmth during these visits, and they even had long talks together about events in the Empire when opportunity would permit. He seemed to have quite forgotten that there had ever been anything between them more than easy friendship and profound political alliance. He changed a little as the years passed. Rumor had it that his mages had developed spells to extend his vitality, and that even the one had granted him immortality. Then one day a messenger came with the news that Tiber Septim was dead, and his grandson Pelagius was now emperor in his place. They had heard the news in private, she and Symmachus. The sometime imperial general and now her trusted prime minister took it stoically, as he took most everything. Somehow it doesn't seem possible, Branzia said. I told you, it's the way of humans. They are short-lived people. It doesn't really matter. His power lives on, and his son now wields it. You called him your friend once. Do you feel nothing? No grief? He shrugged. There was a time when you called him somewhat more. What do you feel, Branzia? They had long ago ceased to address each other in private by their formal titles. Emptiness, loneliness, she said. But then she too shrugged. But that's not new. I know, he said softly, taking her hand. Branzia. He turned her face up and kissed her. The act filled her with astonishment. She couldn't remember his ever touching her before. She'd never thought of him in that way, and yet undeniably an old familiar warmth spread through her. She had forgotten how good it felt, that warmth. Not the scorching heat she'd felt with Tiber Septim, but the comfort and robust ardor she somehow associated with straw. Straw, poor straw. She hadn't thought of him in so long. He'd be middle-aged now if he were still alive, probably with a dozen children, she thought affectionately, and a hardy wife who hopefully could talk for two. Marry me, Branzia, Symmachus was saying. He seemed to have picked up her thoughts on marriage, children, wives. I worked and toiled and waited for long enough, haven't I? Marriage, a peasant with peasant dreams. The thought appeared in her mind with clear and unbidden. Hadn't she used those very same words to describe straw so very long ago? And yet why not? If not Symmachus, who else? Many of the great noble families of Morrowind had been wiped out in Tiber Septim's great war of unification before the treaty. Dark Elven rule had been restored, it was true, but not the old and not the true nobility. Most of them were upstarts like Symmachus, and not even half as good as deserving as he was. He had fought to keep Mournhold whole and hale when their so-called counselors would have picked at its bones, sucked them dry as Ebonheart had been sucked dry. He'd fought for Mournhold, fought for her while she and the kingdom grew and thrived. She felt a sudden rush of gratitude and undeniably affection. He was steady and reliable, and he'd served her well, and loved her. Why not, she said, smiling, and took his hand and kissed him. The union was a good one, and in its political as well as personal aspects. While Tiber Septim's grandson, the Emperor Pelagius I, viewed her with a jaundiced eye, his trust in his father's old friend was absolute. Symmachus, however, was still viewed with suspicion by Morrowind's stiff-necked folk, chary at his peasant ancestry and his close ties to the Empire, but the queen was quite undeniably, unshakably popular. The Lady Branzia is one of our own, it was whispered, held captive as we. Branzia felt content. There was work and there was pleasure, and what more could one ask of life? The years passed swiftly, with crises to be dealt with, and storms and famines and failures to be weathered, and plots to be foiled and conspirators to be executed. Mournhall prospered steadily. Her people were secure and fed, her mines and farms productive. All was well, save that the royal marriage had produced no children, no heirs. Give me a second. Elven children are so slow to come, and most demanding of their welcome, and noble children more so than others. Thus many decades had come to pass before they grew concerned. The fault lies within me, Symmachus. I'm damaged goods. Brandsia said bitterly, if you want to take another, I want no other. Symmachus said gently, nor do I know for certain that the fault is yours. Perhaps it is mine. Aye, whichever. We will seek a cure. If there is damage, surely it may be repaired. How so? When we dare not to entrust anyone with the true story. Healers' oaths do not always hold. It won't matter if we change the time and circumstances a bit. Whatever we say or fail to say, Geoffrey the storyteller never rests. The god's inventive mind and quick tongue are never busy spreading gossip and rumor. Priests and healers and mages came and went, but all their prayers, potions, and phylacteries produced not even a promise of bloom, let alone single fruit. Eventually, they thrust it from their minds and left it in the gods' hands. They were yet young, as elves went. With centuries ahead of them, there was time. With elves, there was always time. Brandsia sat at dinner in the great hall, pushing food down about on a plate, feeling bored and restless. Symmachus was away, having been summoned to the imperial city by Tiber Septim's great-great-grandson Uriel Septim, or was it his great-great-great-grandson? She had lost count, she realized. Their faces seemed to blur one into the next. Perhaps she should have gone with him, but there had been the delegation to tear on a tiresome matter that nevertheless required delicate handling. A bard was singing in an alcove of the hall, but Brandsia wasn't listening. Lately, all the songs seemed the same to her, whether new or old. Then a turn of race caught her attention. He was singing of freedom, of adventure, of freeing Morrowind from its chains. How dare he? Brandsia sat up straight and turned to glare at him. Whereas she realized he was singing of some ancient and now immaterial war with the Skyrim Nords, praising the heroism of King Edward and Morlin and their brave companions. The tale was old enough, certainly, yet the song was new, and its meaning Brandsia couldn't be sure. A bold fellow, this bard, but with a strong, passionate voice and a good ear for music. Rather handsome too, in a raffish sort of way. He didn't look to be well off exactly, nor was he all that young. Certainly he couldn't be under a century of age. Why hadn't she heard him before, or at least heard of him? Who is he? She inquired of a lady in waiting. The woman shrugged. Calls himself Nightingale, milady. No one seemed to know anything about him. Bid him speak with me when he has done. The man called Nightingale came to her, thanked her for the honor of the Queen's audience, and the fat purse she handed him. His manner wasn't bold at all. She decided rather quiet and unassuming. He was quick enough with gossip about others, but she learned nothing about him. He turned all questions away with a joking riposte or a ribald tale. Yet these were recounted so charmingly it was impossible to take offense. My true name, milady? My true name? Milady, I am no one. No. My parents named me no one. Or was it nobody? What matters it? It matters not. How may parents give a name to that which they know not? Ah, I believe that was the name. Know not. I have been the Nightingale for so long I do not remember, since last month at the very least, or so was it last week. All my memory goes into song and tale, you see, milady. I've none left for myself. I'm really quite dull. Where was I born? Why, nowhere. I plan to settle in Dunroman when I get there, but I'm in no hurry. I see, and will you then marry a Talsor? Very perceptive of you, milady. Perhaps, although I find in haste quite charming too at whiles. Ah, you are fickle then, like the wind, milady. Blow bitter and yawn, hot and cold as chance suits. Chances in my suit, naught else wears well on me. Brenzia smiled. Stay with us a while, then it if you will, milord erratic. As you wish, milady bright. After a brief exchange, Brenzia found her interest in life somehow rekindled. All that had seemed stale became fresh and new again. She greeted each day with zest and looking forward to conversation with the nightingale and the gift of his song. Unlike other bards, he never sang her praises, nor other women's, but only of high adventure and bold deeds. When she asked him about this, he said, "What greater praise of your beauty could you ask, milady, than that which of your own mirror gives you? And if words you would have, you have those of the greatest, of those greater than my callow self. How should I weave with them, I who was born but a week gone by?" For once they were speaking privately. The queen, unable to sleep, had summoned him to her chamber that his music might suit her. You are lazy and a coward, Sarah, else I hold no charm for you. Milady, to praise you I must know you. I can never know you. You are wrapped in enigma, in clouds of enchantment. Nay, not so. Your words are what weave enchantment, your words and your eyes. And your body, know me if you will, know me if you dare. He came to her then. They lay close, they kissed, they embraced. Oh. Not even Brenzia truly knows Brenzia, he whispered softly. So may I? Milady, you seek and know it not, nor yet for what. What would you have that you have not? Passion, she answered back, passion and children born of it. And for your children what? What birthright might be theirs? Freedom, she said, the freedom to be what they would be. Tell me you who seem wisest to these eyes and ears and the soul that knits them, where may I find these things? One lies behind you and beside you, the other beneath you, but would you dare stretch out your hand that you might take what could be yours and your children's? Symmachus. In my person lies the answer to part of what you seek. The other lies hidden below us in these your very kingdom's minds, that which will grant us the power to fulfill and achieve our dreams. That which Edward and Morlin between them used to free High Rock and their spirits from the hateful domination of the Nords. If it be properly used, milady, none may stand against it, not even the power of the Emperor controls. Freedom, you say, Brenzia, freedom it gives from the chains that bind you. Think of it, milady. He kissed her again, softly, and withdrew. You are not leaving? You're not leaving. She cried out. Her body yearned for him. For now, he said, pleasures of the flesh are nothing beside what we might have together. I would have you think on what I have just said. I don't need to think. What must we do? What preparations must be made? Why, none. The mines may not be entered freely, it is true, but with the queen at my side, who will stand athwart? Once below, I can guide you to where this thing lies, and lift it from its resting place. Then the memory of her endless studies slid into place. The horn of summoning, she whispered in awe. Is it true? Could it be? How do you know? I've read it. I read that it's buried beneath the measureless scales of Daggerfall. Nay, long have I studied this matter. Ere his death, King Edward gave the horn for safekeeping to the hand of his old friend King Merlin. He in turn secreted it here in Mournhold under the guardship of the god Ethan, whose birthplace and bailiwick this is. Now you know what it has cost me many a long year and weary mile to discover. But the god, what of Ethan? Trust me, lady heart, all will be well. Laughing softly, he blew her last kiss and was gone. On the morrow they passed the guards at the portals that led to the mines and further below. Under pretense of her customary tour of inspection, Brandsia, unattended but for the Nightingale, ventured into cavern after subterranean cavern. Eventually they reached what looked like a forgotten sealed doorway, and upon entering found that it led to an ancient part of the workings long abandoned. The going was treacherous, for some of the old shafts had collapsed, and they had to clear a passage through the rubble or find a way around the more unpassable piles. Vicious rats and huge spiders scurried here and there, sometimes even attacking them, but they proved no match for Branzia's firebolt spells or Nightingale's quick dagger. "We've been gone too long," Branzia said at length. "They'll be looking for us. What will I tell them?" "Whatever you please," the Nightingale laughed. "You are the queen, aren't you?" "The Lord Semachus. That peasant obeys whoever holds power, always has, always will. We shall hold the power milady love." His lips were sweetest wine, his touch both fire and ice. "Now," she said, take me now, I'm ready." Her body seemed to hum, every nerve and muscle taut. "Not yet, not here, not like this." He waved around, indicating the aged, dusty debris and grim walls of rock. "Just a little while longer." Reluctantly, Branzia nodded her assent. They resumed walking. "Here," he said at last, pausing before a blank barrier. "Here it lies." He scratched a rune in the dust, his other hand weaving a spell as he did so. The wall was dissolved. It revealed the entrance to some ancient shrine. In the midst stood a statue of a god, hammer in hand, poised above an adamantium anvil. "By my blood, Ethan," the Nightingale cried, "I bid thee waken. Morlin's heir of Ebonheart I am, last of the royal line, sharer of thy blood, at Morrowind's last need, with all of Elvendom in dread peril of their selves and souls, release to me that garden which thou guards. Now I do bid thee strike." At his final words, the statue glowed and quickened. The blank stone eyes shone a bright red. The massive head nodded. The hammer smote the anvil, and it split asunder with a thunderous crash, and the stone got itself crumbling. Branzia clapped her hands over her ears and crouched down, shaking terribly and moaning out loud. The Nightingale strode forward boldly and clasped the thing that lay among the ruins with a roar of ecstasy. He lifted it high. "Someone's coming!" Branzia cried in alarm, then noticed for the first time that it was he was holding aloft. "Wait, that's not the horn, it's a staff." "Indeed, milady, you so truly." At last, the Nightingale laughed aloud. "I am sorry, milady sweet, but I must leave you now." "What?" "We shall meet again one day. Until then, Semachus," he said to the mail-clad figure who had appeared behind them. "She is all yours. You may claim her back." "No!" Branzia screamed. She sprang up and ran toward him, but he was gone, winked out of existence. Just as Semachus' claymore drone reached him, his blade cleaved a single stroke through empty air. Then he stood still, as if taking the stone god's place. Branzia said nothing. heard nothing, saw nothing, felt nothing. Symmachus told the half-dozen or so else who had accompanied him that Nightingale and Queen Berenzia had lost their way and had been set upon by giant spiders, that the Nightingale had lost his footing and fallen into a deep crevice which closed over him, that his body could not be recovered, that the Queen had been badly shaken by the encounter and deeply mourned the loss of her friend who had fallen in her defense. Such was Symmachus's presence and power of command that the slack-jawed knights, none of whom had caught more than a glimpse of what happened, were convinced that it was exactly as he said. The queen was escorted back to the palace and taken to her chamber, whereupon she dismissed her servants in waiting. She sat still before her mirror for a long time, stunned, too distraught even to weep. Symmachus stood watching over her. "Do you have any idea at all what you have just done?" He said finally, flatly, coldly. "You should have told me," Berenzia whispered. "The staff of chaos! I never dreamed it lay here." He said. A mewling escaped her lips, and she doubled over in despair. "Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What happens now? What's to become of me, of us? Did you love him? Yes, oh my Symmachus, the gods have mercy on me, but I did love him, did. But now, I don't know, I'm not sure, Symmachus's hard-lined face softened slightly, and his eyes glittered with a new light, and he sighed. "Aye, that's something then. You will become a mother yet, if it's within my power. As for the rest, Berenzia, my dearest Berenzia, I expect you have loosed a storm upon the land. It will be a while yet in the brewing, but when it comes, we'll weather it together, as we always have." He came over to her then and stripped her of her clothing and carried her to bed out of grief and longing. Her enfeebled body responded to his brawny one as it never had before, pouring forth all that the Nightingale had awakened to life in her, and in so doing calming the restless ghost all he had destroyed. She was empty and emptied, and then she was filled, for a child was planted and grew within her. As her son flourished in the womb, so did her feeling toward patient, faithful, devoted Symmachus, which had been rooted in long friendship and unbroken affection, and which now at last ripened into the fullness of true love. 8 years later they were again blessed, this time with a daughter. Directly after the Nightingale staff, the staff of chaos, Symmachus had sent urgent secret communiques to Uriel Septim. He had not gone himself, as he would normally have, choosing instead to stay with Berenzia during her fertile period to father a son upon her. For this and for the theft, he suffered Uriel Septim's temporary disfavor and unjust suspicion. Spies were sent in search of the thief, but the Nightingale seemed to have vanished whence he had come, wherever there was. "Dark elf in part, perhaps," said Berenzia, "but part human too, I think, in disguise, else I would not have come so quickly to fertility. Part a dark elf for sure, and of ancient Ratim lineage at that. Else he would have not been able to free the staff," Symmachus reasoned. He turned to peer at her fixedly. "I don't think he would have lain with you as an elf. He did not dare, for then he would not have been able to part from you." He smiled. Then he turned serious once more. "Aye, he knew the staff lay there, not the horn, and that he must teleport to safety. The staff is not a weapon that would have seen him clear, unlike the horn. Praise the gods at least that he does not have that. It seems all was as he expected. But how did he know? I placed the staff there myself, with the aid of the Ragtail and of the Ra-Atim clan, who now sits king in Castle Ebonheart as a reward. Tiber Septim claimed the horn, but he left the staff for safekeeping. Aye. Now the Nightingale can use the staff to sow seeds of strife and dissension wherever he goes, if he wishes. Yet that alone will not gain him power. That lies with the horn and the ability to use it. I'm not so sure it's power the Nightingale seeks, Berenzia said. All seek power, Symmachus said, each in our own way. Not I, she answered. I, my lord, have found that for which I sought. Oh. Alright. One more. Her story is really cool. I really like her story. It's so intriguing. It keeps being interested. It's just really well written. Also, ads are starting in 5 minutes. But I'm gonna start the book and then we'll take a break. As Symmachus had predicted, the theft of the Staff of Chaos had few short-term consequences. The current Emperor Uriel Septim sent some rather stiff messages expressing shock and displeasure at the staff's disappearance and urging Symmachus to make every effort to locate its whereabouts and communicate developments to the newly appointed Imperial battle mage Jagar Thorn, in whose hands the matter had been placed. Thorn, Symmachus thundered in disgust and frustration as he paced about the small chamber where Berenzia, now some months pregnant, was serenely embroidering a baby blanket. Jagar Thorn, indeed. I wouldn't give him the directions for crossing the street, not if he were a doddering old blind sot. What have you against him, love? I just don't trust that mongrel elf, part dark elf, part high elf, and part the gods only know what. The worst qualities of all his combined bloods, I'll warrant, he snorted. No one knows much about him. He claims he was born in southern Valenwood of a wood elven mother. Seems to have been everywhere since. Berenzia sunk in the contentment and lassitude of pregnancy had only been humoring Symmachus thus far. But now she suddenly dropped her needlework and looked at him. Something had piqued her interest. Symmachus. Could this Jagar Thorn have been the Nightingale disguised? Symmachus thought this over before replying. Nay, my love. Human blood seems to be the one missing component in Thorn's ancestry. To Symmachus, Berenzia knew that was a flaw. Her husband despised wood elves as lazy thieves and high elves as effete intellectuals, but he admired humans, especially Bretons, for their combination of pragmatism, intelligence, and energy. The Nightingale of Ebonheart of the Ratim clan, House Hlalu, the House of Mora, in particular, I'll be bound. That house has had human blood in it since her time. Ebonheart was jealous that the staff was laid here when Tiber Septim took the horn of summoning from us. Berenzia sighed a little. The rivalry between Ebonheart and Mournhold reached back almost to the dawn of Morrowind's history. Once the two nations had been won, all the lucrative mines held in fief by the Ratims, whose nobility retained the high kingship of Morrowind. Ebonheart had split into two separate city-states, Ebonheart and Mournhold, when Queen Leon's twin sons, grandsons of the legendary King Morlin, were left as joint heirs. At about the same time, the office of High King was vacated in favor of a temporary war leader to be named by a council in times of provincial emergency. Still, Ebonheart remained jealous of her prerogatives as the eldest city-state of Morrowind. First among equals was the phrase its rulers often quoted, and claimed that rightful guardianship of the Staff of Chaos should have been entrusted to its ruling house. Mournhold responded to that King Morlin himself had placed the staff in the keeping of the good Ethan, and Mournhold was unarguably the god's birthplace. Why not tell Jagar Thorn of your suspicions then? Let him recover the thing as long as it's safe. What does it matter who recovers it or where it lies? Symmachus stared at her without comprehension. It matters, he said softly after a while. But I suppose not that much. Aye. He added, certainly not enough for you to concern yourself further with it. You just sit here and tend to your... And here he smiled at her wickedly. Embroidery. Baranzia flung the sampler at him. It hits him like a square in the face. Needle, thimble and all. Alright, ads are about to start, y'all. I'm gonna get up, stretch a bit, move a bit around, and then I'll be right back. You get up, stretch, hydrate, get some food as well. Don't sit all day. alright, I'm sorry. Had to deal with something very important. Alright, where's my mouse? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's continue. In a few more months, Brenzia gave birth to a fine son, whom they named Halsa. Nothing more was heard of the Staff of Chaos or the Nightingale. If Ebonheart had the staff in his possession, they certainly did not boast of it. The years passed swiftly and happily. Halsed grew tall and strong. He was much like his father, whom he worshipped. When Halsed was 8 years old, Brenzia bore a second child, a daughter. To Symmachus' lasting delight, Halsed was his pride, but little Morgaia, named for Symmachus' mother, held his heart. Sadly, the birth of Morgaia was not the harbinger of better times ahead. Relations with the Empire slowly deteriorated for no apparent reason. Taxes were raised and quotas increased with each passing year. Symmachus felt that the Emperor suspected him of having a hand in the staff's disappearance and sought to prove his loyalty by making every effort to comply with the escalating demands. He lengthened working hours and raised tariffs, and even made up some of the difference from both the royal exchequer and their own private holdings. But the leaves multiplied, and commoners and nobles alike began to complain. It was an ominous rumble. "I want you to take the children and journey to the Imperial City," Symmachus said in last desperation one evening after dinner. "You must make the Emperor listen, else all Mournhold will be up in revolt by come spring." He grinned forcibly. "You have a way with man, love. You always did." Brenzia forced a smile of her own. "Even with you, I take it?" "Yes, especially with me," he acknowledged amiably. Both children? Brenzia looked over toward the corner window where Halsed was strumming a lute and crooning a duet with his little sister. Halsed was 15 by then, Morgaia 8. They might soften his heart. Besides, it's high time Halsed was presented before the Imperial Court. Perhaps, but that's not your true reason. Brenzia took a deep breath and grasped the nettle. "You don't think you can keep them safe here? If that's the case, then you're not safe here either. Come with us," she urged. He took her hands in his. "Brenzia, my love, heart of my heart. If I leave now, there will be nothing for us to return to. Don't worry about me. I'll be alright. I can take care of myself, and I can do it better if I'm not worrying about you or the children." Brenzia laid her head against his chest. "Just remember that we need you. I need you. We can do without the rest of it if we have each other. Empty hands and empty bellies are easier to bear than an empty heart." She started to cry, thinking of the Nightingale and the sordid business with the staff. "My foolishness has brought us to this pass." He smiled at her tenderly. "If so, it is not so bad a place to be." His eyes rested indulgently on their children. "None of us shall ever go without or want for anything. Ever, ever, my love. I promise you. I cost you everything since Brenzia and I, Tiber Septim. Without my aid, the Empire would never have begun. I helped its rise." His voice hardened. I can bring about its fall. You may tell Uriel Septim that and that my patience is not infinite." Brenzia gasped. Symmachus was not given to empty threats. She no more imagined that he would ever turn against the Empire than that old house wolf lying by the great would turn on her. "How?" she demanded breathlessly, but he shook his head. "Better that you not know," he said. "Just tell him what I told you, should he prove recalcitrant. I guess that's how you say it? And do not fear. He's septim enough that he will not take it out on the messenger." He smiled grim. "For if he does, if he ever harms the least hair on you, my love, or the children, so help me all the gods of Tamriel, he'll pray that he hadn't been born. I'll hunt him down, and him and his entire family, and I won't rest until the last septim is dead." The red dark elven eyes of Symmachus gleamed brightly in the ebbing firelight. I plight you that oath, my love, my queen, my Brenzia. Brenzia held him as tight as she could, but in spite of the warmth in his embrace, she couldn't help shivering. Brenzia stood before the Emperor's throne, trying to explain Mournhold's straits. She'd waited weeks for an audience with Uriel Septim, having been fobbed off on this pretext or that. His Majesty is indisposed. An urgent matter demands His Excellency's attention. I am sorry, Your Highness, there must have been some mistake. Your appointment is for next week. No, see, and now it wasn't even going well. The Emperor did not even make the slightest pretense at listening to her. He hadn't invited her to sit, nor had he dismissed the children. Helseth stood still as a carven image, but little Morgai had begun to fuss. The state of her own mind didn't help her any. Shortly upon arrival at her lodgings, the Mournholdian ambassador to the Imperial City had demanded entry, bringing with him a sheer of dispatches from Symmachus. Bad news, and plenty of it. The revolt had finally begun. The peasants had organized around a few disgruntled members of Mournhold's minor nobility and were demanding Symmachus step down and hand over the reins of government. Only the Imperial Guard and the handful of troops whose families had been retainers of Branzia's house for generations stood between Symmachus and the rebel. Hostilities had already broken out, but apparently Symmachus was safe and still in control. Not for long, he wrote. He entreated Brenzia to try her best with the Emperor, but in any case she was to stay in the Imperial City until he wrote to tell her it was safe to go back home with the children. She had tried to barge her way through the imperial bureaucracy with little success, and to add to her growing panic, all news from Mournhold had come to a sudden stop. Tottering between rage at the Emperor's numerous majordomos and fear of the fate awaiting her and her family, the weeks had passed by tensely, agonizing remorselessly. Then one day, the Mournholdian ambassador came calling to her. She should expect news from Symmachus the following night at the latest, not through the regular channels but by Nighthawk. Seemingly by the same stroke of luck, she was informed the same day by a clerk from the Imperial Court that Uriel Septim had finally consented to grant her an audience early on the morrow. The Emperor had greeted the three of them when they came into the audience chamber with a too bright smile of welcome that nonetheless didn't reach his eyes. Then, as she presented her children, he had gazed at them with a fixed attention that was real yet somehow inappropriate. Brenzia had been dealing with humans for nearly 500 years now and had developed the skill of reading their expressions and movements that was far beyond what any human could ever perceive. Try as the Emperor might to consider, there was hunger in his eyes, and yet something else. Regret? Yes, regret. But why? He had several fine children of his own. Why covet hers? And why look at her with such a vicious, however brief, yearning? Perhaps he had tired of his consort. Humans were notoriously, though predictably, inconstant. After that one long burning glance, his gaze had shifted away, and she began to speak of her mission and the violence that had erupted in Mournhold. He sat still as stone throughout her entire account. Puzzled at his inertia and waxed no end, Brenzia stared into the pale, set face, looking for some trace of the Septims she'd known in the past. She didn't know Uriel Septim well, having met him once when he was still a child, and then again at his coronation 20 years later. Twice, that was all. He'd been a stern and dignified presence at the ceremony, even as a young adult, yet no eye so remote as this more mature man was. In fact, despite the physical resemblance, he didn't seem to be the same man at all. Not the same, yet something about him was familiar to her, more familiar than should be, some trick of posture or gesture. Suddenly she felt very hot, as if lava had been poured over her. Illusion! She had studied the arts of illusion well since Nightingale and deceived her so badly. She had learned to detect it, and she felt it now as certainly as a blind man could feel the sun on his face. Illusion, but why? Her mind worked furiously even as her mouth went on reciting details about Mournhold's troubles. Vanity? Humans were oft as ashamed at the signs of aging as elves were proud to exhibit them. Yet the face Uriel's Septim wore seemed consistent with his age. Brenzia dared use none of her own magic. Even petty nobles had means of detecting magicka, if not actually shielding themselves from its effects within their own halls. The use of sorcery here would bring down the Emperor's wrath as surely as drawing a dagger would. Magic, illusion. Suddenly she was brought to the mind of the Nightingale, and then he was sitting before her. Then the vision changed, and it was Uriel's Septim. He looked sad, trapped. And then the vision faded once more, and another man sat in his place like the Nightingale, and yet unlike. Pale skin, bloodshot eyes, elven ears, and about him a fierce glow of concentrated malice and aura of eldritch energy, a horrible destructive shimmer. This man was capable of anything. And then once again she was looking into the face of Uriel's Septim. How could she be sure she wasn't imagining things? Perhaps her mind was playing tricks on her. She felt a sudden vast weariness, as if she had been carrying a heavy burden too long and too far. She decided to abandon her earnest native of Mournhold's ills, as it was quite plainly getting her nowhere, and switch back to pleasantry. Pleasantry, however, with a hidden agenda. Do you remember, Sire Symmachus, I had dinner with your family shortly after your father's coronation. You were no older than tiny Morgaya here. We were greatly honored to be the only guest that evening, except for your best friend Justin, of course. Ah, yes, the Emperor said, smiling cautiously. Very cautiously, I do believe I recall that. You and Justin were such friends, Your Majesty. I was told he died not long after. A great pity. Indeed, I still do not like to speak of him. His eyes turned blank, or blanker, if it had been possible. As for your request, milady, we shall take it under advisement and let you know. Brenzia bowed as the children, a nod from the Emperor, dismissed them, and they backed away from the Imperial presence. She took a deep breath when they emerged from the throne room. Justin had been an imaginary playmate, although young Uriel had insisted a place be set for Justin at every meal. Not only that, Justin, despite the boyish name, had been a girl. Symmachus had kept up the joke long after she had gone the way of imaginary childhood friends, inquiring after Justin's health whenever he and Uriel Septim met, and being responded to in as mock serious in fashion. The last Brenzia had heard of Justin several years ago, the Emperor had evidently joked elaborately to Symmachus that she had met an adventurous, though incorrigible Khajiit youth, married him and settled down in Lilandril to raise fire ferns and mugworts. The man sitting in the Emperor's divans was not Uriel Septim, the Nightingale? Could it be? Yes, yes. A core of recognition rang through her, and Brenzia knew she was right. It was him, it was. The Nightingale masquerading as the Emperor. Symmachus had been wrong, so wrong. What now? She wondered frantically. What had become of Uriel Septim, and more to the point, what did it mean for her and Symmachus, and all of Mournhold? Thinking back, Brenzia guessed that their troubles were due to this false Emperor, this Nightingale spawned glamour, or whatever he really was. He must have taken Uriel Septim's place shortly before the unreasonable demands on Mournhold had begun. That would explain why relations had deteriorated for so long as humans reckon time. Long after her disapproved liaison with Tiber Septim, the Nightingale knew of Symmachus's famed loyalty to and knowledge of the Septim house, and was effecting a preemptive strike. If that were the case, they were all in terrible danger. She and the children were in his power here in the Imperial City, and Symmachus was left alone to deal with the troubles of the Nightingales brewing in Mournhold. What must she do? Brenzia impelled the children ahead of her, a hand on her shoulder, trying to stay cool, collected, and her ladies-in-waiting and personal night escort trailing behind. Finally, they reached their waiting carriage, even though their suite of rooms was only a few blocks from the palace. Royal dignity forbade travel on foot for even short distances, and for once Branzia was glad of it. The carriage seemed a kind of refuge now, false as she knew the feeling must be. A boy dashed up to one of the guards and handed him a scroll, then pointed toward the carriage. The guard brought it to her. The boy waited, eyes wide and shining. The epistle was brief and complimentary, and simply inquired if King Edwire of Wayrust of the province of High Rock might be granted an audience with the famed Queen Branzia of Mournhold, as he had heard much of her and would be pleased to make her acquaintance. Branzia's first impulse was to refuse. She wanted only to leave this city. Certainly she had no inclination toward any dalliance with a dazzled human. She looked up frowning, and one of the guards said, "Milady, the boy says his master awaits your reply yonder." She looked in the direction indicated and saw a handsome elderly man on horseback surrounded by half-dozen courtiers and cavaliers. He caught her eye and bowed respectfully, taking off a plumed hat. "Very well," Branzia said to the boy on impulse. "Tell your master he may call on me tonight after the dinner hour." King Edwire looked polite and grave and rather worried, but not in the least love-struck. At least that was something she thought pensively. Branzia stood at the tower window waiting. She could sense a familiar's nearness, but though the night sky was clear as day to her eyes, she could not yet see him. Then suddenly he was there, a swift-moving dot beneath the wispy night clouds. A few more minutes and the great Nighthawk finished his descent, wings folding, talons reaching for her thick leather armband. She carried the bird to its perch, where it waited panting as her impatient fingers felt for the message secured in a capsule on one leg. The hawk drank mightily from the water till when she had done, then ruffled its feathers and preened secure in her presence. A tiny part of her consciousness shared its satisfaction at the job well done, mission accomplished, and rest earned. Yet beneath it was all was unease. Things were not right, even to its humble avian mind. Her fingers shook as she unfolded the thin parchment and pored over the cramped writing. Not Symmachus's bald hand. Branzia sat slowly, fingers smoothing the document, while she prepared her mind and body to accept disaster calmly. If disaster it would be, disaster it was. The Imperial Guard had deserted Symmachus and joined the rebels. Symmachus was dead. The remaining royal troops had suffered a decisive defeat. Symmachus was dead. The rebel leader had been recognized as king of Mournhold by Imperial envoys. Symmachus was dead. Branzia and the children had been declared traitors to the Empire and price set on their heads. Symmachus was dead. The audience with the Emperor earlier that morning had been nothing but a blind ruse, a charade. The Emperor must have already known. She was just being strung along to stay put, take things easy. Milady Queen, enjoy the Imperial City and the delights it has to offer. Do make your stay as long as you want. Her stay? Her detention, her captivity. And in all probability her impending arrest. She had no delusion about her situation. She knew the Emperor and his minions would never let her leave the Imperial City ever again. At least not alive. Symmachus was dead. "Milady?" Branzia jumped, startled by the servant's approach. "What is it?" "The Breton is here, milady, King Edwire." The woman added helpfully, noting Branzia's incomprehension. She hesitated. "Is there news, milady?" she said, nodding toward Nighthawk. "Nothing that will not wait," Branzia said quickly, and her voice seemed to echo in the emptiness that suddenly yawned like a gaping abyss inside her. "See to the bird." She stood up, soothed her gown, and prepared to attend on her royal visitor. She felt numb as those stone walls around her, numb as the quiescence of the night air, numb as a lifeless corpse. Symmachus was dead. King Edwire greeted her gravely and courteously, if a bit fulsomely. He claimed to be a fervent admirer of Symmachus, who figured prominently in his family's legends. Gradually he turned the conversation toward business with the Emperor. He inquired after details and asked if the outcome had been favorable to Mournhorde. Finding her non-committal, he suddenly blurted out, "Milady Queen, you must believe me. The man who claims himself the man who claims himself the Emperor is an impostor. I know it sounds mad, but I know, Branzia," with sudden decisiveness. "You are entirely correct, my lord king, I know." Edwire relaxed into his seats for the first time. I suddenly shrewd. "You know? You're not just humoring someone you might think a madman. I assure you, my lord, I am not." She took a deep breath. "And who do you surmise is dissembling as the Emperor?" "The Imperial battle mage, Jagar Thorn." "Oh, my lord king, have you perchance heard of someone called a Nightingale?" "Yes, my lady, as a matter of fact I have. My allies and I believe him to be the one and the same man as the renegade Thorn." "I knew it." Branzia stood up and tried to mask her upheaval. "The Nightingale, Jagar Thorn. Oh, but the man was a demon, diabolical and insidious, and so very clever. He had contrived their downfall seamlessly, perfectly." "Symmachus, my Symmachus." Edwire coughed diffidently. "Milady, we need your aid." Branzia smiled grimly at the irony. "I do believe I should be the one saying those words, but go on, please. Of what assistance I might be, my lord king." Quickly the monarch outlined the plot. The mage Riasolmain, of late apprentice to the vile Jagar Thorn, had been killed and declared a traitor by the false emperor, yet she retained a bit of her powers and could still contact a few of those she had known well on the mortal plane. She had chosen a champion who would undertake to find the Staff of Chaos, which had been hidden by the treacherous sorcerer in an unknown site. This champion was to wield the staff's power to destroy Jagar Thorn, who was otherwise invulnerable, and rescue the true Emperor, being held prisoner in another dimension. However, the champion, while thankfully still alive, now languished in the Imperial dungeons. Thorn's attention must be diverted while the chosen one gained freedom with Rhea's spirit's help. Branzia had the false Emperor's ears, and seemingly his eyes. Would she provide the necessary distraction? "I suppose I could obtain another audience with him," Branzia said carefully, "but would that be sufficient? I must tell you that my children and I have just recently been declared traitors to the Emperor. In Mournhorde, perhaps, milady, and Morrowind, things are different in the Imperial City and the Imperial Province. The same administrative morass that makes it near impossible to obtain an audience with the Emperor and his ministers also quite assures that you will never be unlawfully imprisoned or otherwise punished without the benefit of due legal process in your case. In your case, milady, in your children's, the situation is further exacerbated by your royal rank. As queen and heirs apparent, your persons are considered inviolable. Sacrosanct? In fact, sacrosanct? The king grinned. The imperial bureaucracy, milady, is a double-edged claymore. So, at least she and the children were safe for the time being. Then a thought struck her. "Milord King, what did you mean earlier when you said I had the false emperor's eyes?" And seemingly at that, Edwire looked uncomfortable. "It was whispered among the servants of Jagar Thorn that Jagar Thorn kept your likeness in a sort of shrine in his chambers." "I see." Her thoughts wandered momentarily to that insane romance of hers with the Nightingale. She had been madly in love with him. Foolish woman, and the man she had once loved and had caused to be killed. The man she truly loved. He's gone now. She still couldn't bring herself to accept the fact that Symmachus was dead. But even if he is, she told herself firmly, my love is still alive and remains. He would always be with her, as would the pain of living the rest of her life without him, the pain of trying to survive each day, each night without his... Jesus Christ. me a sec. His comfort, without his presence, his comfort is love. The pain of knowing he would never see his children growing into fine pair of adults, who would never know their father, how brave he was, how strong, how wonderful, how loving, especially little Morgaya. And for that, for all you have done to my family, Nightingale, you must die. Does that surprise you? Adwire's words broke into her thoughts. What? Does what surprise me? Your likeness in Thorn's room. Oh, her features set imperturbably. Yes and no. Adwire could see from her expression that she wished to change the subject. He once again to their plans. Our chosen one may need a few days to escape, milady. Can you gain him a bit more time? You trust me in this, milord king. Why? We are desperate, milady. We have no choice. But even if we did, why? Yes. I would trust you. I do trust you. Your husband has been good to my family over the years. The Lord Symmachus is dead. What? Branzia related the recent events quickly and coolly. Milady Queen, but how dreadful. I'm so sorry. For the first time, Branzia's glacial poise was shaken. In the face of sympathy, she felt the outward calm to start to crumble. She gathered her composure and willed herself to stillness. Under the circumstances, milady, we can hardly ask. Nay, good milord, under the circumstances I must do what I may to avenge myself upon the murder of my children's father. A single tear escaped her fortress of her eyes. The fortress of her eyes. She brushed it away impatiently. In return, I ask only that you protect my orphan children as you may. Adwire drew himself up. His eyes shone. Willingly do I so pledge, most brave and noble queen. The gods of our beloved land, indeed Tamriel itself, be my witnesses. His words touched her absurdly yet profoundly. I thank you from my heart and my soul, good milord King Adwire. And you have mine and my children's everlasting gratitude. She broke down. She did not sleep that night, but sat in a chair beside her bed, hands folded in her lap, thinking deep and long into the waxing and waning of the darkness. She would not tell the children, not yet, not until she must. She had no need to seek another guidance with the Emperor. The summons arrived at first light. She told the children she expected to be gone a few days, bade them give the servants no trouble, and kissed them goodbye. Morgaya whimpered a bit. She was bored and lonely in the imperial city. Halseth looked dour, but said nothing. He was very like his father. At the imperial palace, Branzia was escorted into the great audience hall, but to a small parlor where the emperor sat at a solitary breakfast. He nodded a greeting and waved his hand toward the window. Magnificent view, isn't it? Branzia stared out over the towers of the great city. It dawned on her that this was the very chamber that she'd first met Tiber Septim all those years ago, centuries ago. Tiber Septim, another man she had loved. Who else had she loved? Symmachus, Tiber Septim, and Stroh. She remembered the big blonde stable boy with sudden and intense affection. She had never realized until now, but she had loved Stroh, only she had never let him know. She had been so young then that those had been carefree days, halcyon days, before everything. Before all this, before him, not Symmachus, the Nightingale. She was shocked in spite of herself. The man could still affect her, even now, even after all that had happened. A strong wave of inchoate emotion swept over her. When she turned back at last, Uriel Septim had vanished, and the Nightingale sat in his place. You knew, he said quietly, scanning her face. You knew instantly. I wanted to surprise you. You might leave. You might at least have pretended. Branzia spread her arms, trying to pacify the maelstrom churning deep inside her. I'm afraid my skill at pretense is no match for yours, my liege. He sighed. You're angry. Just a little, I must admit, she said icily. I don't know about you, but I found betrayal a trifle offense. How human of you. She took a deep breath. What do you want of me? Now you are pretending. He stood up to face her directly. You know what I want of you. You want to torment me. Go ahead. I'm in your power, but leave my children alone. No, 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 I don't want to torment you. No, I don't want that at all, Branzia. He came near, speaking low in the old caressing voice that had sent shivers cascading through her body. The same voice that was doing the same thing to her here and now. Don't you see? This was the only way. His hands closed on her arms. She felt her resolve fading, her disgust at him weakening. You could have taken me with you. Unbidden tears gathered in her eyes. He shook his head. I didn't have the power, oh, but now I have it all. Mine to have, mine to share, mine to give to you. He once waved his hand toward the window and the city beyond. All Tamriel is mine to lay at your feet. And that is only the beginning. It's too late, too late. You left me to him. He's dead, the peasant's dead. A scant few years, what do they matter? The children can be adopted by me and we'll have others together, Branzia. Oh, and what children they'll be. What things we shall pass on to them. Your beauty, my magic, and my magic. I have powers you haven't even dreamt of. Not in your most untamed imaginings. He moved to kiss her. She slipped his grasp and turned away. I don't believe you. You do, you know. You're still angry, that's all. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Tell me what you want, Branzia. Branzia, my beloved, tell me it shall be yours. Her whole life flashed in front of her, the past, the present, and the future still to come. Different times, different lives, different Branzias. Which one was the real one? Which one was the real Branzia? For by that choice she would determine the shape of her fate. She made it, she knew. She knew who the real Branzia was and what she wanted. A walk in the garden, my liege, she said. A song or two, perhaps. The nightingale laughed. You want to be courted? And why not? You do it so well, it's been long besides since I've had the pleasure. He smiled. As you wish, milady Queen Branzia. Your wish is my command. He took her hand and kissed it, now and forever. And so they spent their days in courtship, walking, talking, singing and laughing together while the Empire's business was left to subordinates. I'd like to see that staff, Branzia said, early one day. I only had a glimpse of it, you'll recall. He frowned. Nothing would give me greater pleasure, heart's delight, but that would be impossible. You don't trust me, Branzia pouted, but softened her lips when he leaned over for a kiss. Nonsense, love. Of course I do, but it isn't here. He chuckled. In fact, it isn't anywhere. He kissed her again, and passionately this time. You're talking in riddles again. I want to see it. You couldn't have destroyed it. Oh, you've gained in wisdom since last we met. You inspired my hunger for knowledge somewhat. She stood up. The Staff of Chaos cannot be destroyed, and it cannot be removed from Tamriel, not without the direst consequences to the land itself. Oh, you impress me, my love. All true, it is not destroyed and it is not removed from Tamriel, and yet, as I said, it isn't anywhere. Can you solve the puzzle? He pulled her to him, and she leaned into his embrace. Here's a greater riddle still, he whispered. How does one make one of two? That I can, and I will show you. And will show you. Their bodies merged, limbs tangled together. Later, when they had drawn a bit apart, and he lay dozing, she thought sleepily, one of two, two of one, three of two, two of three. What cannot be destroyed or banished might be split apart, perhaps. She stood up, eyes blazing. She started to smile. The nightingale kept a journal. He scribbled entries onto it every night after quick reports from underlings. It was locked in a bureau, but the lock was a simple one. She had, after all, been a member of the Thieves' Guild in a past life. Another Branzia. The one morning Branzia managed to sneak a quick look at it while he was occupied at his toilet. She discovered that the first piece of the Staff of Chaos was hidden in an ancient dwarvish mine called Fanglair. Although its location was given only in the vaguest of terms, the diary was crammed with jotted events in an odd shorthand and was very hard to decipher. Oh, Tamriel, she thought, in his hand and mine, and more perhaps, and yet, for all his exterior charm, there was a cold emptiness where his heart should have been, a vacuum of which he was quite unaware, she thought. One could glimpse it now and then, when his eyes would go blank and hard, and yet, though he had a different concept of it, he yearned for happiness too, and contentment. Peasant dreams, Branzia thought, and straw flashed before her eyes again, looking lost and sad, and then Terrace, with a feline Khajiit smile, Tiber Septim, powerful and lonely, Semachus, solid, stolid, Semachus who did what ought to be done, quietly and efficiently, the Nightingale, a riddle and a certainty, both the darkness and the light, the Nightingale who would rule all and more, and spread chaos in the name of order. Branzia got reluctant leave from him to visit her children, who had yet to be told of their father's death and of the Emperor's offer to protection. Of protection she finally did, and it wasn't easy. Morgaya clung to her for what seemed an era, sobbing wretchedly, while Halseth ran off into the garden to be alone, afterward refusing all her attempts to speak to him on the subject of his father, even to let her hold him to her breast. Adwire called on her while she was there. She told him what she had discovered so far, explaining that she must remain a while yet and learn more as she could. The Nightingale teased her and about her elderly admirer. He was quite aware of Adwire's suspicions, but he wasn't the least bit perturbed, for no one took the old fool seriously. Branzia even managed to arrange a reconciliation of sorts between them. Adwire publicly recanted his misgivings, and his old friend, the Emperor, forgave him. He was afterward invited to dine with them at least once a week. The children liked Adwire, and even Halseth, who disapproved of his mother's liaison with the Emperor, and consequently detested him. He had become surly and temperamental as the days passed, and frequently quarreled with both his mother and her lover. Adwire was not happy with the affair either, and the Nightingale took great delight at times in openly displaying his affection for Branzia, just to nettle the old man. They could not marry, of course, for Uriel Septim was already married. At least not yet. The Nightingale had exiled the Empress shortly after taking the Emperor's place, but had not dared harm her. She was given sanctuary by the temple of the one. It had been given out that she was suffering from ill health, and rumors had been circulated by the Nightingale's agent that she had mental problems. The Emperor's children had likewise been dispatched to various prisons all across Tamriel disguised as schools. She will grow worse in time, Nightingale said carelessly, referring to the Empress and eyeing Branzia's swollen breasts and swelling belly with satisfaction. As for their children, well, life is full of hazards, isn't it? We'll be married, your child will be my true heir. He did not want the child. Branzia was sure of that. She was far less sure, however, of his feelings for her. They argued continually, often violently, usually about Halseth, whom he wanted to send away to school in Somerset Isle, the province farthest from the imperial city. Branzia made no effort to avoid these altercations. The Nightingale, after all, had no interest in a smooth, unruffled life, and besides, he thoroughly enjoyed making up afterward. Occasionally Branzia would take the children and retreat to their old apartment, declaring she wanted no more to do with him, but he would always come to fetch her back, and she would always let herself be fetched back. It was ineffable, like the rising and settling of Tamriel's twin moons. She was 6 months pregnant before she finally deciphered the location of the last F piece, an easy one, since every Dark Elf knew where the Mount of Dagatur was. When she next quarreled with the Nightingale, she simply left the city with Adwire and rode hard for High Rock and Wayrest. Nightingale was furious, but there was little he could do. His assassins were rather inept, and he dared not leave his seat of power to pursue them in person. Nor could he openly declare war on Wayrest. He had no legitimate claim on her or her unborn child. True to form, the imperial citizen nobility had disapproved of his liaison with Baranzia, as they had so many years ago of Tiber Septins, and were glad to see her go. Wayrest was equally distrustful of her, but Edwire was fanatically loved by his prosperous little city-state, and allowances were readily made for his eccentricities. Baranzia and Edwire were married a year after the birth of her son by Nightingale. In spite of this unfortunate fact, Edwire doted on her and her children. She in turn did not love him, but she was fond of him, and that was something. It was nice to have someone and Wayrest was a very good place, for children to grow up while they waited and bided their time and prayed for the champion's success in his mission. Baranzia could only hope that he wouldn't take very long. However, this unnamed champion, whoever this unnamed champion was, she was a dark elf, and she had all the time in the world, all the time. But no more love left to give, and no more hatred left to burn. She had nothing left, nothing but pain and memories. And her children, she only wanted to raise her family, and provide them a good life, and be left to live out what remained of hers. She had no doubt it was going to be a long life yet, and during it she wanted peace and quiet and serenity of her soul as well as of her heart. Peasant dreams, that was all what she wanted. That was all what the real Baranzia wanted. That was all what the real Baranzia was. Peasant dreams. Peasant dreams. Wow. Wow. What an end. That was great.
By the 9, I hate the waiting. The god.
That was amazing. What the hell? Wow. Well, that was a great book. That was a great book series. Yeah, I'm alive. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna save here and call it here. We did quite a lot. Read a few books. I have so many more books to read, but I have to go. I have to get back to work, actual work. Unfortunately, I have to do some crunching. But I will be back on Sunday. We're gonna try 4 days a week of streaming, at least for Skyrim. Sundays are gonna be like not fully set in stone, I would say, but mostly. I'm gonna try always my best to go live on Sundays, but sometimes unfortunately it won't be possible. But yeah, thank you all for watching. YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being here.